What up, Dokkaners? We got some content dropping tonight for both versions of the game. We got 4 EZAs, 3 of them sub-EZAs, these 3 right here. But the main one is the Android 13. This is going to be dropping on Global and JP tonight, December 19th, 12 a.m. Pacific. So basically at the stroke of midnight for me. That is basically 8 hours after reset for those of you on Global. And that is 7 hours before the next reset, or 17 hours after the previous reset for JP. So check your local listings to see exactly when it's dropping. Let's dive in and take a look at what these units do, and let's go over some sample team builds, some hidden potential recommendations, and all that good stuff. In terms of team assembly, this is going to be pretty straightforward. But before we start, I just want to mention for Global, we are also going to be receiving Pets on Battle, dropping a little bit before the EZAs drop tonight. So that will be happening about an hour and a half before. When the actual EZAs drop, these 2 sub-EZAs, the Android 17, 18 from the future, these don't actually rely on the Android 13 event. They can actually have their medals from the future Gohan, Super Saiyan Gohan Extreme Sea Battle event. So if you farm them out now, before the event actually drops and is available with stamina, you can use keys and thereby saving yourself the need to use stamina, depending on who you are. If you have enough red keys like I do, I've got an overabundance of those red keys. So I used all of them. That's not true. I used like, how many do you use per run? Like 3, so 90? Less than that? I don't know. I used a bunch of those. It didn't do anything to my supply, but I was able to clear out all the medals that I needed to Extreme Z Awaken these 2 units. They each need 12, 20, 12, 12. So multiply that by 2, 24, 40, 24, 24. If you get these done before the actual EZA drops, when it does drop at midnight my time, or whenever it is for you, you can simply then just awaken the units and you're done. And this also will satisfy one of the missions that we need for the new winter celebration on Global. So this will also help you finish up those. For the trunks as well, you have to do the same thing, 12, 20, 12, 12. Only this one relies on the Android 13 event. Now, based on the missions that we've got so far, there is no indication that we're going to be receiving any sort of mission that gives us those extra medals, because that's something that we've started to see with the recent updates that they've been doing in terms of the medal grinding. We're not getting it for the EZAs, not yet anyway. Maybe before the actual EZAs drop, maybe they retroactively add those missions in there, and if they do, that would be nice, because of the 2, or I guess of the 4 new EZAs, 2 of them rely on the new event, with this guy needing 15, 40, 30, 30, which is the normal amount. Since this one is 12, 20, 12, 12, we would have to go back in and do more runs. Now that's probably going to be the case, but let's see if they end up doing something at the 11th hour just to make things a little bit more convenient for us. Now let's just go through these real quick. And in terms of like team prep, it's very easy. The 2 categories that are needed are very, very easy. For the Android 13, it's Super Saiyans, and for the other androids from the previous Future Gohan event, it is androids. I mean, it's just these two categories. So the Android 13 unit, what does this unit do? 170% lead for target Goku androids, raises defense permanently, causes immense damage with a high chance to stun, greatly lowers defense. Attack and defense plus 130, plus an additional attack and defense plus 130 with HP 30% or more. Androids or target Goku category allies, key plus 3, attack and defense plus 30, attacks guaranteed to hit. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super attack when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, blah, 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 excluded. Transforms when conditions are met. When you transform, you can turn into the Super Android 13 from turn 5 with another 2 or more androids on the team. Blanca greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and massively lowers defense with a high chance to stun, and has a key plus 3 attack and defense plus 130, plus an additional attack and defense plus 145 when HP is 30% or more, plus an additional attack and defense plus 13% per target Goku or androids category ally on the team. Whichever one has more, that one takes precedence. I don't know what happens in the case of a tie. I would imagine it just cancels out and you just get 13% attack and defense 13 for 1, because it's just considered just like 1 category, I would imagine. I don't know, maybe there's a loophole, who knows. Attacks guaranteed to hit. It disables enemy guard. That's cool. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super attack, plus an additional attack and defense plus 50%, and high chance to crit when there's a Super Saiyans category enemy, plus an additional attack plus 100, and performs a crit guaranteed when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. So very, very different playstyles when it comes to these 2 units. This one's all about support and defense building, and then the supercharged form is all about reckless abandon and trying to murder the opposition. Now, granted, if the opposition is Goku, then you are going to do just that. You are going to murder. But if you are not fighting a Goku category enemy who also isn't a Super Saiyan, well, this unit pretty much is just, I mean, even with that condition met, you're still looking at a pretty tough out, because this unit has really no semblance of protection. The only defense that you get is whatever defense that you gained when you were in the base form. After that, you lose any sense of stacking defense. It's not even a temporary defense boost here. It's all about the attack. So in terms of running this unit, it really just depends on your playstyle. Are you the type of person who's a glutton for punishment and you like to take these weaker units into the more challenging events like Fusion Zamasu? Because even if you give this unit maximum dodge, that's not going to save you against Fusion Zamasu. I'm just saying, you know, you can have all the dodge in the world, it ain't going to save you. So in my opinion, when it comes to units like this that are just simply built for one unit, I like to just build for that one unit and not really run the unit in another situation. I will be running this guy against the legendary Goku event or any other event that has Goku on it, but I'm not going to be bringing him into the Omega Shenron red zone or the Broly red zone because, I mean, I would for the sake of a showcase, but in general, I probably wouldn't do that. So while I would say that dodge, maximum dodge would be the way to go, I just don't think that it's ultimately going to be much worth in the end, because even with the dodge, this unit is not a must-have on an Android's team in terms of being productive. I mean, he has support here, sure, but it's not even more support than it was before in terms of the numbers. It did extend the parameters a bit, but this guy's just kind of average on paper right now. I feel like we still need to see the showcase to really decide, but in general, I'm not going to be using this guy too much. So for me, I'm probably going to be going maximum additional to let him raise that defense as much as he possibly can before he transforms, and then also when he does, he can launch a bunch of attacks and destroy Goku. So maximum additional, balanced dodge is my build, but I can totally recommend also maximum dodge and balanced additional. Let me know in the comments how you guys would build the unit yourself. In terms of my build in the game, I did do just that. I've got 20 additional and 13 dodge, but that's from a build that I did a while ago. I haven't even changed it since, and it all just depends on how good the unit is going to end up being. If the unit is decent, then I will change the unit accordingly, but yeah. All right, let's move on now. We got the physical Trunks next. So this one, this is now a 35% nuking lead. So if you didn't have the blue Vegeta, but you have this one, this is now your new lead for any event that we do in the future that requires any sort of like nuking. So this guy massively raises attack for 3 turns, causes supreme damage with sacrificing 3% health. I don't know if we have another unit in the game that can do this. A multiplicative massive attack raising boost for 3 turns can give some pretty decent numbers, but I don't know if we've had that before. Attack and defense plus 150, plus an additional attack plus 150, but defense minus 50 when performing a super attack. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 50 when performing a super attack if there's another movie heroes category ally attacking in the same turn. Plus an additional defense plus 50 with each super attack performed up to 150. This kind of acts like a makeshift passive or like super effect, right? So you're not only raising your attack multiplicatively for 3 turns, but you're also raising defense, comma, doing all this, right? But it's only for 3 turns. Chance to crit 10 up to 50 with each attack received. Guards all attacks when there's an androids or target Goku category enemy. So on paper, I'm not the biggest fan of this unit. I wish that there was some sort of defense stuff happening here that could have made this unit a little bit better. But I'm not going to completely, you know, blatantly write off the unit just yet, because while you do lose defense here, you do get defense here when having movie heroes, and you get even more when you are getting launching super attacks. So this unit actually could still be productive, but again, only in the right element, androids or target Goku. How do I build this unit? I had it built beforehand with maximum additional and balanced dodge. I will probably switch that around and go maximum dodge. I think that's probably the best way to go, because while guarding is good, while launching attacks are good, you're ultimately only going to have 3 defensive stacks with 3 supers. After that, all you're doing with your attack raising is raising the attack, sure, but for me, this guy being on the team, I probably just want to survive. I don't know. So I'm going maximum dodge, balanced additional. I don't need crit. Crit is taken care of in here. Let me know what you guys think in terms of how you would build the Trunks. Let's move on quickly to the other 2 androids, then we'll talk about the event. Both of the androids function pretty much the same. Both have a multiplicative super for the opposite. So raises defense for 1 turn, and then causes free damage and raises attack for 3 turns. That's a 17. Vice versa for the 18. And same thing with their passive. It's basically the same thing, only Android 18 dodges and the Android 17 focuses on critical. So let's take a look here. Attack and defense plus 150, changes tech key spheres to physical. 18 changes physical to AGL. Changes int key spheres to physical in addition, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super attack when HP is 78% or less. For the 17, changes STR to AGL for the same exact thing. Now, if you might be wondering why is it not changing into physical, it's because this is basically supposed to be working hand in hand with the Android 18. So these guys would ideally be run together. Neither one of them are good slot 1s or slot 2s. So, I mean, really, this just boils down to if you want to use them and, you know, do so with risk. Plus an additional attack plus 20 defense plus 30 per AGL key sphere obtained. The opposite can be said for the 17 in terms of picking up the type matching. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 20 per key sphere for both in the non-matching type. High chance to crit for the 17, like I said. Medium chance to dodge for the 18. He +1 attack and defense, +50 chance to dodge, +18% per future saga category ally, self-excluded attacking in the same turn. For the 17, he +1 plus an additional attack and defense, +50 chance to crit, +17 per future saga category ally attacking in the same turn. Both of them I gave max dodge and balance additional. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think for these two builds and why. Now that being said, let's go quickly through the event because there's really not much to say or show here, because when it comes to the event, the weakness for the Android 13 is Super Saiyans, shocker. And when it comes to the damage reduction that happens over time, don't bring bad guys is basically the point. Now, you can bring bad guys in terms of damage reduction, but when it comes to the standard TUR Extreme Z Battle format, the category serves as both your shield and your sword, whereas in the LR EZA format, the category is your shield, the legendary power Link is your sword. So if you are trying to do more damage, bringing extreme units won't do the trick. Plus, how many extreme Super Saiyans are? No, there aren't any Super Saiyans that are extreme. No, there's one, Vegeta, right? So there are not that many units that would even be worth running. Just bring a bunch of Super Saiyans, bring tech Super Saiyans. If you do bring physical Super Saiyans, you will not do as much damage. Just a little pointer there. And since this is a standard TUR EZA, you're getting 30 stones plus the 4 that you get from the missions, the time attack missions, assuming they don't give us any more at the 11th hour when it comes to like the support medals or whatever. So now Super Saiyan category, very easy. Ton of leads. So even if you don't have the new big boy on the block, the LR Inch Super Saiyans, you could literally run a 150% lead version of the Super Saiyan Goku. You could run a 150% version with the Spirit Bomb Goku. You have a 170% with the Namek Goku. You got the 200% with the Super Saiyan Goku Gohan, as long as you bring the right units. You don't have to have this unit on your team even as a friend lead, but if you do, I mean, it'll just go by faster. So you have great flexibility in terms of leader skills. If this doesn't work out, you could go Kamehameha. Gohan with Kamehameha and Super Saiyans matches perfectly because the LR Carnival Super Saiyans also have the Kamehameha category. There's a lot of different options to choose from. Go Bros is probably your best bet. So even if you don't have this one, and if you don't have any friends who have this unit, Go Bros will rip through the event. Double Go Bros at 170% for Goku's family is all that you need. And that's why I'm really not going to be showing team builds for this one, because there's just so many options here. No matter what level of player you are, you probably have one of these characters that can lead a squad for you. And if you really don't have anyone up here, even the Prime Battle Super Saiyan Goku, you could go down to like the 77 leads with the free-to-play options. You have like the Tech Goku Gohan, that is an easy one. But most of you should have this Prime Battle LR Goku. This one should be fine. So let me know what sort of teams you guys are going to be putting together for this one. I can tell you right now, my team is going to be consisting of this Goku Gohan, the Go Bros, the LR Revived Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, if I could throw on Broly if I wanted to, but I'll probably just run double 200% Carnival Super Saiyans, because why not, right? I also have a free-to-play squad that I will be doing, so that should be fun. Free-to-play is not going to be too bad for this one. There's a lot of good free-to-play options. So now let's move on quickly to the physical Super Saiyan Gohan EZA event. So like I said, the medals that are needed are from that Extreme Z battle. You need 12, 20, 12, 12. So if you go to this one, androids is the category weakness. So for this one, bring bad guys, don't bring good guys. That's what this means right here. Gains damage reduction of up to 80% against Super AGL, no, that's not the one. Oh, it is the one. Okay, wait. Gains damage reduction against Super AGL, Super Tech, Super Int, Super STR, Super Physical, and Extreme Int and Extreme Physical. So yeah, I mean, don't bring the good guys, bring the bad guys. But if you do bring Physical or Int bad guys that are androids, they will still tank you. Or not tank you, but they will tank for you, but they won't do as much damage, you know, obviously, because type disadvantage, type neutral, they don't want all that. So bring a bunch of STR androids, bring a bunch of AGL androids. There's some cool options here. Let me just quickly pull up the androids category. I mean, we just had the Android 21 that released recently. You could throw on the Imperfect Cell as your lead. Imperfect Cell is probably going to be the easiest one, the Dokkan Festival AGL Transforming Cell. You just throw on Android Cell Saga units, a bunch of androids from that category. Have this one lead. If you don't want to do that, you could even go as far as like a 150% Freaky 21. Actually, this isn't freaky. Oh no, she becomes freaky. She's pre-Freaky 21. Have her lead 150%. Oh no, she's a 160. Yeah, she's a 160%. So yeah, I mean, both categories are, you know, massive. They've got a ton of units. This isn't really one that's going to require much guidance. As long as you have one unit, you're going to be fine. Physical LR 16, 17, 18 just dropped. MVP 17 gets the job done. Even the gammas work. Artificial life forms. You know, so there's plenty of options to choose from. And for this one, you don't have to go, you know, constantly through the entire event. All you have to do is go to the specific stages that drop the medals at the highest point. and then that way you can move on from there. Once you finish that event multiple times, you can then move on to the next tier, clear those. So for like this one, if you're trying to run through the bronze, you would go to the pinnacle bronze stage, get all the medals that you need for that, 12 plus 12, 24, and then you do the same thing for the silver medals. You're going to have to get 40 of those. So you go to the maximum stage for the silver, get 40 of those medals, then go to the gold and go to the rainbow, and you're good to go. It'll be very, very fast. Again, we'll wait and see what's going to be happening with the missions if they are going to be deciding to drop something, but I don't think that they will. So instead, I mean, just expect easy stones coming up tonight. 34 dragon stones at least if you're global, another 11 for Peton. We'll see what else comes up. If there's going to be any sort of winter celebration details coming up for global with the Tanabata holiday stuff, we'll see what comes up for JP. But in the meantime, get ready. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what team are you going to be running for these events? Are you ready with those medals awakened for the physical and the AGL Android 18, 17? Are you guys excited for the Android 13 Dokkan Festival EZA? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content of the future and click the notification bell so that you let each know I'm going to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.